Welcome to We Wine Whenever. Grab your glass and join three Jersey Shore housewives, Wendy, Kelli, and Lori, as they dive into everything from Bravo drama to life's everyday chaos. It's unfiltered, it's hilarious, and it's the real talk you've been waiting for, from relationship to pop culture. We drink wine whenever, and we hope you do too. Don't forget to subscribe and give us a 5-star review. Cheers! Hi, welcome to We Wine Whenever. I'm Wendy.
I'm Kelli.
We are talking about Summer House, Season 9, Episode number 15, The Summer Scaries.
Season finale.
Season finale. We pick up where we left off on the Episode 14, where they're at the dinner, and Lexi says that she doesn't trust Sierra based on what Jesse had told her.
Mm-hmm.
And we see Sierra, not too happy about that.
Mm-hmm.
Because Jesse, it appears from everything I've seen, is saying one thing to Sierra and the rest of the house and another thing to Lexi.
Well, yeah, because thank God, and we said this last week, thank God Kyle went to Lexi and was like, listen, he was just up there saying that, you had a problem with his friendship with Sierra. And she was like, I did not. I didn't say that. So that's why this was brought up at the dinner table.
Yes.
But it's clearly what he did. We saw him doing that. Like people online are actually sticking up for Jesse, saying that Lexi's the problem. And
I know.
like, I just don't see it.
I don't see it either.
I don't think Lexi was in love with Jesse or anything like that. Chances are she probably did think, let me date him for the summer while I'm in the house. Maybe it'll help me a little bit. Chances are that was in the back of her head. I think she liked him.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I agree. And like you said, some people are really like anti like Lexi. They're calling her immature. I'm like, she's actually not immature. I mean, I get that they don't like the mother-sister dynamic that comes with her. I don't really like that either.
Agreed.
And then they're attacking her for being a model when she's 5 feet tall and size 0. Okay. I mean, seriously?
She clearly made it, people.
Right.
She made it despite all that. And
there's-
she's been on her own since 17?
Yeah.
Like, I don't think you can call somebody like that immature.
No. I mean, no, you definitely can't. I think
I don't think she's immature with relationships. I think that she's been burned. Like, I think she must have been cheated on multiple times. Or even if you're cheated on once, like, it's like PTSD.
Right.
It never goes away.
No, I totally agree. Did you see on Watch What Happens Live, it was Lindsay and Kyle?
Yes, I did see that.
Okay.
Actually, I did not mind Kyle, which was shocking because he normally annoys the shit out of me.
I agree. I actually really enjoyed Lindsay too.
Yeah. I have been this season.
Yeah.
Which again, shocking.
Yeah. I feel like we have a new Lindsay.
Yeah. And although her 1-year breakup anniversary post was insane.
She admits it though. That's what I like.
Exactly.
That's what I like about her. Like,
yes.
It was totally insane, but look, that's what she does. Who cares? Like,
I loved when at the end of the dinner or at some point at the dinner, was it Amanda? And they were like, Carl, would you like to draft your anniversary post now?
Yes.
It was like, no.
I like how he takes it in stride.
I agree with you. And I think he hit the nail on the head. I think it was I don't know if it was this episode or last episode. I don't think she misses Carl. I don't even think she was in love with Carl, I'll be honest with you. I think she's embarrassed about getting broken up with on national television. She should be embarrassed. He never should have done that. But I think that, of course, she's past it now. But last summer, I think she was still dealing with the humiliation. I think that this is where this is all coming from.
I can imagine that that's the case. I mean,
and he shouldn't have done it. I know you're on a reality TV show, but that was a little too far.
It's funny that you say that because then the other people would say, well, you're on a reality TV show. Why didn't you do it on camera?
Yeah.
Either way,
right.
He's not going to win. He
wasn't going to win.
No, there was no winning in this for Carl. There was no way he was going to win.
I think that Paige, like what Paige did, even though we're seeing the lead up to it,
mm-hmm.
I'm glad we didn't see that on camera. There's just something like inauthentic about it to me for some reason when it's on camera, because we know that there are producers around and they are kind of guiding them in these scenes. Not that I
Yeah.
think anybody was with Carl. I really do think that that was a real scene, which is probably even more hurtful to her.
Right. No, I think it was a real scene too. I think he, like he said, his initial thought was that he was just going to kind of put it out there and he wanted to make it work. But when he saw the direction it was going, he's like, this isn't going to work. And honestly, like Lindsay said, like him letting her go was the best thing that happened to her because it allowed her to get what she always wanted, which was
Absolutely.
to be a mom,
Yep.
you know?
Absolutely.
So I think it was fine. I think it was fine. And there's time, now there's time in between there and time does heal. So the theme of this party is, I guess it was a scary party. I didn't like this theme, to be honest with you. I didn't like the way Gabby was interjecting in that conversation when West was trying to stick up for Jesse because West hadn't opened up his mouth all season. And then all of a
I thought
sudden,
it was real interesting how Sierra was like, "No, let him talk.
let
Like
him talk.
now
Yep.
you're gonna take up for your boy. Now when it's him sticking up for Jesse, like I don't think she's a girl's girl, Sierra. I really don't. Here's the thing about Amanda Page and Sierra. They're them girls, but I don't think they're other girls.
I
I
mean,
couldn't believe when Sierra was like, "No, let him talk," like, about West. Like, come
mhm.
on, Sierra, you've been shitting on him all summer, but now he's gonna stick up for Jesse, and you're gonna let him. I didn't like that.
Well, I mean, I think it's that she didn't like that it was Gabby of all people telling him who hadn't we don't know anything about Gabby, you know?
No, I thought that West made a really good point with that. Like, you've been judging people for 3 years about their relationships, and in 3 years, you've never shared a relationship. And
Right.
I don't think Gabby ever will. And I think if the show told her, like, you either do it or you get off the show, she'd be like, peace out. Like, she doesn't seem like she needs it. She doesn't
Right.
seem like she even loves it.
No, she doesn't. She really
I
doesn't.
like her. I like Gabby. I like her on the show, but I don't think if she was given an ultimatum, she'd stay.
I actually don't like her on the show. I don't really think she adds anything, to be honest with you.
I think she's there as Lindsay. She's the new Danielle.
Yeah.
She's there as Lindsay's, with the whole, announcement thing. Like Lindsay needs somebody there. Well, the other three are thick as thieves. So Lindsay needs somebody in her corner, and that's Gabby's role now.
Well, now that Lindsay and Paige are super close, I don't think they're going to need Gabby.
True. True.
Although, we don't think that. We still don't know whether or not Lindsay's coming back. We don't know what's happening. I mean, Andy has made it perfectly clear that they are actively casting New York, they're actively casting New Jersey. They are not canceled despite all the rumors. He's also said stop asking. And as soon as Summer House ends, it's going to be the same thing. You're going to hear the same thing from him.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's my thought. I mean, I could be wrong, but that's what
I
my
mean, and
thought
there
is.
is a rumor that somebody from Vanderpump's coming. And I really hope it's Dana or Charlie. I really, really hope.
Yeah. I mean, I would hope it would be somebody who has some New York connections or New York ties. And I don't know their backstories well enough to know
Right.
like what their ties are. But yeah, I think that would be fun to mix it up. I think that would be
And one
fun.
of them's friends with Lexi, so she could, I wonder how if it would have been any different if that girl Bailey would have hung in there for the rest of the season for Lexi. Like,
Yeah. I mean, but Lexi was, again, I don't know how, Lexi was supposed to be Amanda's friend. Amanda knew her.
I think they were just acquaintances. They had a drink before the season started, and
Yeah.
but you wouldn't know it by watching the season. You
Right.
wouldn't think that they were friends.
Right. And even like if they talked about this on Watch What Happens Live with Lindsay and Kyle, they were in a summer share house in Montauk before the show. Like they were
Yeah,
legit summer share friends.
yeah.
That's who they
With
were.
the Workus twins,
Yes. Yes.
Carl was season 1,
Yeah.
and these were people that Kyle must have pitched the show to Bravo somehow.
Yeah, I mean I wouldn't be surprised,
Yeah,
Kyle's a hustler. Oh, he's a
yeah,
hustler.
for sure, for sure.
So at the party, Jesse is there and I guess he invited a bunch of sorority girls. and we see him surrounded by these blondes. And then we see him take the blondes into the house, and Paige and Amanda go in and say, no, these girls need to leave. You know, it's one thing to be broken up, but it's another thing to do it right in her face, in her backyard, her literal backyard. Like, it's not cool. And I'm glad that they shut it down. I'm glad they shut it down.
Yeah.
And then what else happened?
Well, Sierra went in with the broom.
Yes, she went in with the broom.
I don't really think that had anything to do with Lexi, though. I don't know why I feel this strongly, but I feel like Sierra didn't want Jesse talking to those girls.
Oh, I don't think that's the case.
No, huh?
I don't think that's the case. I do think it was for Lexi. I mean, I hear what you're saying, that she's, that those three are girls for themselves. But I don't know. Like, I listened to Dolores talk about Sierra. From what I've seen of her, I think she's just guarded.
For sure.
And
But I don't think her hands are clean here. And she's acting like her hands are 100% clean, and Lexi should keep her name out of her mouth. Like, well, there's a whole scene of you flirting with them, so.
I think she meant to keep her name out of her mouth in reference to why she broke up with Jesse, because that's not why she broke up with Jesse. She said the reason she broke is because she didn't trust him because of things that he has said, and he has lied.
Right. But we didn't see her, like, for Sierra to say that, she didn't do that. We saw the breakup, and she said, and Kyle asked her, did you mention Sierra? And she said, no, absolutely not.
I know, but I think it happened. It came out afterwards in social media. I don't know if it was something that was discussed on either a podcast or something, or even it was in social media. It came out on social media after it had aired, like after this whole season had aired.
Okay.
So I don't know if it was directly related to Sierra, like, going after Jesse, because obviously if she wanted Jesse, she could have had Jesse. Like,
yeah, I mean, I totally agree with you. I mean, does anybody want Jesse at this point? Although Erica Jane is rumored to have hooked up with him this weekend or this week.
You think that's true? I mean, I wouldn't put it past her.
I don't think it's true.
I wouldn't put it past her.
I mean, listen, they're two single people
right.
in New York, but I just personally don't think it happened. I don't think why would she want to hook up with Jesse Solomon?
I mean,
Erica Jane.
Yeah, but listen, a girl has needs, and she would tell you that.
Yes. Yeah.
Right? I mean,
come on.
I don't know.
He's a little goofy, isn't he?
Well, yeah, he is. He is goofy.
I think he's just so goofy.
He is goofy. I agree. I do like, I'll be honest with you. The other thing Andy brought up on Watch What Happens Live is the real feud between Summer House and Southern Charm. And it's only between Craig, though, because Kyle said he still talks to Austin and he still talks to Shep. Yeah.
I mean, Craig unfollowed them with the breakup. Does anybody blame him, though?
I don't think
they were all coming out saying shit. I would unfollow them, too. They all were saying that he should have been more protective of her. Maybe Craig really thought she cheated on him. Maybe Craig didn't know 100% in his gut that she didn't cheat on him. Maybe that's why he didn't come out to defend her. I'm not trying to defend Craig because I feel like I've done that enough. And I do totally think they should have broken up, shouldn't have been together. I think he was absolutely 100% intimidated by her success. And that's very sad. But I don't think he bared the responsibility of defending her against cheating rumors, because maybe he really thought she cheated. Maybe he didn't know for sure.
I mean, that is a theory. I think that is when she said the gloves are off, because she specifically asked him to shut it down, because the version of his story, even it comes up about the ring, that he says he bought this ring and nobody's seen the ring. Come on.
Yeah.
I mean, seriously?
Yeah, maybe he didn't even have a ring.
Maybe he didn't have a ring. Like, he's been known to lie. Who buys a ring and doesn't show it to a single person? I mean, that's a little sus.
Like at least Shep and Austin would have seen it, right?
You would think.
And it probably would have aired on Southern Charm if he got the ring, and
Yeah. It was manipulation. I feel like that whole thing was such manipulation. on
Well,
his
when
part.
she said, and listen, I don't take everything she says 100% as fact either. I really don't, because I think what Craig said is true. She didn't like the way she got portrayed when she broke up with him. People
Which
really came for her.
they did. No, they definitely did.
I was guilty of it myself. Um, and that's when things turned. I mean, she was not saying nice things about him, and he was not saying not nice things about her. He wouldn't say a bad thing about her. He wouldn't make a bad comment about her.
She wasn't saying not nice things about him. When she gave her podcast breakup story, when
Sure,
she
that
when
was
she
fine.
and she just it's not that she was saying bad things about him because she said the entire time, like, he's a good guy, just not right for me. He's a better version of himself. I'm a different version of myself. Like, she didn't say anything bad about him and again, I don't even know what she said that was bad until she asked him to shut down those rumors and he refused to. So she then had to stick up for herself and start admitting that the things that she had lied for him about. She had been sticking up for him the entire relationship. She had been covering him the entire relationship about all the lies that he had said.
How about Amanda? Was it on the after show? She's like, do I have notes, by the way?
I don't know, do you?
I swear, now that I'm thinking about it, because I started watching the after show for the Valley and Summer House,
Yes, it's
and
good.
it's very good. I'm going to say this though: those girls on Summer House, they think they're like, you know, yay women, like women. If a man said half of the things they said, we would be pummeling him. They think that, I don't know if I'm explaining it right.
Do you remember what they said?
I mean, just the fact that she said, I'm the breadwinner. Why would I move to you? Could you imagine if a man said that? Could
Well,
you imagine if a
wait a
man said
second.
that?
Excuse me, Joe Gorga said it. Joe Gorga said it to his wife Melissa. I
And
bring
he
home
looked,
I bring home
yes.
and you bring home the crumbs.
And he
And
looked like a big giant asshole for it.
okay, but
Percent.
okay. So, but it's been done. It's
Oh,
not
it's
like
been done, but these girls do it very flippantly. Like, so on the after show, Amanda's like, you did so good. You did so good. Like protecting Craig. You fucking do that for Kyle constantly.
she does. She does do that for
But
Kyle.
does this make you an empowered woman that you have to lie and like cover up for your significant other? This is what empowers women? Lying for your husband and protecting him?
Well, I
I don't
don't
know.
think so. I don't think so. I mean, I wouldn't say that that's what makes you an empowered woman, but I would say that, you know, standing by your husband and your marriage is not a bad thing.
Of
Even if
course not.
to
But when you're
it doesn't take your power away. I don't think it makes you, you can still be an independent woman and have your husband's back is what I'm saying.
yeah, have his back, but lie to cover up things for him? That's
Well,
codependency. That's an
well,
enabler.
well, yeah, that is an enabler. But if you want to make
I don't
them listen, I mean, at this point, I don't know why you'd want to make the marriage work because you don't have any children yet. Like, if there was a time to cut and run, this would be the time to cut and run.
I agree. I think she should get up on
We'll have to wait and see what happens because supposedly we're going to get a big surprise at the end of the reunion.
they're still saying that.
Yes, and I don't know how many episodes the reunion is.
I heard it's 2. I mean, is the big surprise that Amanda says, I'm not gonna have a kid with you because I don't think you're ready to have kids? Because I've seen I've seen the preview for that.
I don't think so because they've showed us that. So I don't think that they're going to tease us with some. But who knows? I mean, it is Bravo. It's possible. Who knows?
Yeah.
Who
Yeah.
knows? I liked towards at the end of the episode. I liked the whole Gemma and Lindsay and the pumping of the breast milk and them doing shots of the breast milk. I mean, honestly, I thought it was hysterical.
I
I
did
did.
too.
I thought it
I
was
did too.
hysterical. I
Yeah.
like this side of Lindsay. I like this side of Lindsay.
For sure. For sure. Now, remember in previews of the upcoming season, we see Paige say that she saw Craig texting 2 girls or something during their relationship. They didn't show that.
No, they didn't. They didn't. But
I just thought that was interesting.
that may be something that comes out at the reunion too. Like, who knows?
Yeah, maybe. That's true. Maybe they'll show that at the reunion when they
Yeah.
reference it.
Because sometimes that happens at the reunions. They just started doing that recently, is where they'll show you a clip that we never saw before, and then they'll have, like, context to it that, like, "Oh, okay, well, that now makes sense,"
Right.
which
Right.
it kinda drives me crazy because why wasn't it included in the season?
Right.
You know what
Exactly.
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, but that was nice. That was nice how the show ended with the 3 of them together.
Yeah.
Sierra wasn't there, right? It was just Paige, Amanda, and
Yeah.
Lindsay.
Yeah, I thought Sierra was gonna come, but maybe she was busy working that day or whatever. I mean, it was
Yeah.
December 30th, like, it was the end of the year.
Oh,
Like, it
was that late?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I
Okay.
think it was, like, the day after her podcast, or the day it was, like, right after she had dropped the podcast.
Okay. After Paige did.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, we didn't see it, but Craig must have been very intimidated by her success. I mean, I don't think we ever saw it.
Well,
Because
I
I
mean,
don't think him asking, like, "Where do I fit in?" is him being intimidated. But I do think that other things probably happened off camera that made her feel a certain way.
I saw a post, I think it was on Instagram. They made it appear to be coming from Paige's father. Did you see that?
Yeah, but I think
I
that
don't
was
think it's real. I don't think it's
I don't
real.
think this man has any interest in getting involved in this.
I don't either. I don't either.
I mean, she said my dad said, "Oh, you sound more like yourself," or something, right? Like, you sound back to your and
Yes.
listen, that's fucking exhausting if you're I don't think she was still trying to cover up for shit Craig did, but it had been 3 years. That's exhausting.
Yes. Yes.
So, I'm sure her father did say that. I don't think he put that statement out,
I
though.
don't think he did either, and I really
There's
don't like when they do that. I don't, because
and I think there's so much AI bullshit going on.
Mhm. I agree. I agree. I don't like that. I don't like when they do that.
So, somebody posted something 2 things came out this week about Real Housewives of New Jersey, not to pull away from this, but
Mhm.
it's the AI thing, I personally think. One was that Melissa was talking about Teresa and Gia, and the other one was Margaret was talking about Louis. But nowhere and I commented and I said, "I think that this is fake news," and the person who posted it said, "This is not fake news." They said blah, 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 and I'm like, "But where?
Right.
Where did they say it? What is the source? Was it in an interview with a magazine? Was it on a podcast?" Like, if somebody said it, we'd know where it came from,
Right.
and you
They didn't
can't find
answer.
it.
Right.
No.
Yeah, there's so much misinformation out there, and there's, like, pages that pop up every day
Yes.
about housewives and Bravo. It's honestly, it's annoying. Like, who has time to do that? And what is the end game for them? Like, is it just to get
Right.
clicks? Like, what? What?
Yeah.
Like, what are
Yeah.
they doing? I don't get it. Because I mean, they're probably making money, and here we are actually putting out not fake news and not making any
Right.
money.
Just doing our thing, people. Not making a dime.
Maybe we need to take a page out of the fake news book and try and figure it out.
Like, I'm reading this so-called statement from her father. I'm like, who did he say this to? Like,
Right.
who's he calling somebody and saying this to? Like, this
Right.
man's too busy and I'm sure way too successful and distinguished to have any time to do this.
I
And I'm
totally
sure he
agree.
just wants his daughter to be at peace now with her decision and move on with her life.
Yes, I'm sure that that's the case. I'm sure
Yes,
that's the
exactly.
case.
So funny. So I guess we just have to wait to see who's coming back. A lot of people do not want Lexi back.
I've seen that. I want Lexi to come back.
I do too.
I want her to come back.
Because I don't think that Jesse love bombed her. I do think he came on incredibly strong. We saw that. So her claims that he was coming on really strong during the week when they weren't filming, I believe that because we saw it
When
on
they were.
camera.
Right, when they
Yeah,
were filming, yes.
I believe it.
I do too.
I think she just got wrapped up in it. Like, who wouldn't? Like,
That's
most
yeah,
girls would get wrapped up in that.
I agree. I totally agree.
So I hope they give her another season so we could see. I mean, for crying out loud, they gave West another season after what he did to Sierra. They should give her another season so we could see what it's like with her not being entangled with it. And if she does come back next season and Jesse comes back, please don't make it all about their breakup like they did with Carl and Lindsay this season.
God, yes, please don't, because we don't need to see that. Like, that's last season's stuff.
No,
Let's
let
move
it
on to
be.
the
Let it
next,
be.
right?
Right. Yeah. Yeah, let's see single Lexi.
Yes.
Or if she wants to bring Drake on, we're here for that too.
I seriously do not think that's going to be happening. Just saying.
Don't you really hope it's true that she dated him though?
I mean, I think that's very possible.
I do too.
Maybe
I
she'll
mean, I
clear it
was
up.
impressed with Cindy Crawford and, Posh Spice's sons respectively.
Mm-hmm.
So,
We'll have to wait and see. You want to move on to the Valley?
yeah, we should probably move on to the
Talk about the Valley. So this is season 2, episode number 6, right? And it's called Behind
what is it?
Closed Pantry Doors. That's funny. I mean, it's appropriate, right?
So I did watch the after show. By the way, real quick, one thing about Summer House. Did you notice that Rule is always by himself in the after show?
Yeah.
Will
Yeah.
nobody sit with him? What is the problem?
I don't understand it, but he's always by himself, with everything. I don't think we're going to get him back.
I think he got a raw deal this summer.
Yeah.
I don't think he's coming back, but I think he got a bad production cut. But whatever, we'll move on to the Valley.
Yeah. So they're still in Santa Barbara. Well, no, they're back from Santa Barbara actually, but they're discussing Santa Barbara, right?
Yeah, but does the episode start with them continuing and then Danny gets up?
No, I think that doesn't it start where they're getting ready for they have that little party where the girls are all meeting?
Yeah. I thought they
We're still in Santa Barbara?
I think so. And I think Danny wakes up and then they go in and they go in their room and she tells him what's happening.
Okay. So it's the end.
But I think that's a quick thing and then
Okay. So it's the end of Santa Barbara, I guess, then just before they're leaving because a bunch of them had gone already. And the only ones pretty much left were Nia and Danny, right?
Yeah. Yes.
So,
yes.
My thought on this whole Nia and Danny thing is, first of all, I like them as a couple. I think that they are sincere. Yes, he's an actor. Yes, she's a pageant girl. I don't care about that. I think that other castmates, and when I say other castmates, I'm referring to Janet and Jasmine, are jealous. I think that they're jealous. And I think that they don't like that they are considered the favorite couple. And I feel like they're doing whatever they need to do to tear them down. Yeah, okay, he had a shot in the closet. Who cares? Okay, she said he was tired. Who cares? It's her husband. They both said. If you watch them in their interviews, you can say they're media trained. You can say they're a good couple. They are consistent with their answers. Yes, they've had problems. They go to marriage counseling. They have individual therapists themselves. They're fine. They have 3 small children and another one on the way. Give them a break. That's how I feel. I really feel like they are targeting them.
I totally agree with you. And as far as his drinking, this is my take on it. We know people who aren't necessarily alcoholics, but don't have good reactions to alcohol.
Yeah.
Whether it's a medical condition.
Right.
They might only have 2 drinks. It affects them as if I had 6. I can handle my alcohol. I have a higher tolerance, probably because of the frequency that I drink. I'll be the first to admit. But I'm just saying I can handle it. Watch me go out tonight and make a damn fool of myself. My husband almost 3 or 4 years ago? Almost 4 years ago had a really bad night with alcohol. He wasn't an alcoholic. He never abused alcohol in his life, but he had a really bad night and injured himself and made a conscious decision the next day just to take a break. And he hasn't had an ounce of alcohol since. He didn't make a decision that day and say, I'm never drinking again.
Right.
But my point being that he didn't necessarily have a problem. He had a bad night. So
right.
He drank too much that night. So Danny might be that person who probably should watch his alcohol intake. I don't think he's chugging warm tequila every night in a pantry. No. He doesn't have an alcohol abuse problem. He probably just, when he drinks one too many, turns into a different person. It's not a great thing, but it doesn't make him an alcoholic,
No, it
right?
doesn't. No, it doesn't make him an alcoholic. And he even said on the after show, I sometimes drink too much, and Nia has said to me that it's a problem for her, and I have stopped. He's already acknowledged that. So
There you go.
he acknowledges when it becomes a problem and it's pointed out to him by his wife, he stopped. So the fact that he can stop and start, first of all, that to me says you're not an alcoholic.
Right.
And like Lala said on the after show, alcoholic is a self-diagnosed disease. You have to self-diagnose yourself as an alcoholic. Nobody else can do it. And she said that herself as an alcoholic.
That's right.
So if an alcoholic is saying you need to self-diagnose yourself, and he is saying that he is not an alcoholic and I can stop if I need to, and I can address it. And yeah, sometimes I do drink too much and it's not a good.
Yeah, some people's personalities flip. They change, and it's not good.
No,
It
it's not
doesn't
good.
mean that they're drinking every single night of the that could happen twice a year.
Right. Or it could happen, twice in 5 years.
Absolutely.
Right? I mean, I know myself that, there have been times, not that I so much act different. It's not like I get nasty, but there's times I've drank too much accidentally, believe it or not. I know that sounds crazy, and I just fall down. I fall down
Yeah.
when I get
Yeah,
drunk.
you're a faller when you
I just fall down. It's not even like I fall. I just cannot stand up straight.
Right.
So, I'm hurting.
And it's not every time you drink, and you don't drink every night.
I don't drink every night. I don't get drunk. I don't need, I don't need to get drunk. My intention when I have a drink is not to get drunk. That's not my intention. That's actually never my intention.
Of course.
That's one of the things I try and talk to my kids about. Like the younger generation, they're like, well, why would you drink if you're not going to get drunk? I'm like, what do you mean? Like you drink because you like it. You don't just.
Yeah, like when we were younger, like we drank beer, wine coolers, Mad Dog.
Yeah.
Like they drink vodka, these
Vodka
kids.
and Red Bull.
Yeah, like
Vodka and Red
I was
Bull.
definitely not drinking vodka when I was younger.
No.
Like teenage,
Right. No. But they drink to get drunk.
Yes, they do.
And that, listen, I hope it's a maturity thing. I hope it's something that, they grow out of. But that, I feel like the younger generation that does drink, because there's a lot of the younger generation that doesn't drink at all.
Absolutely. My daughter's 21. She has no interest.
Right. And I think it's interesting that it's kind of like the opposite end of the spectrum. Like that generation, a bunch of them have no interest in drinking. And the ones that do have the interest in drinking are just drinking to get drunk.
Right.
And I'm like, I wish we
Yeah,
could
like
just
there's
find
no
some.
happy medium.
Right. Can we get a happy medium?
Yeah. But the thing about Jasmine is she has this one story that she's holding on to. Like, Jasmine, if you're giving me 5 examples of how Danny's been inappropriate with you while he's
Right.
drunk, I might think, okay, she might be onto something. And wasn't it interesting how Janet on the after show said, Jasmine's the one who called me and said, there's a problem. He's got a
Yes.
problem. He's an alcoholic. And then they show Jasmine and she's like, well, I don't think he's a full-blown alcoholic.
I know.
Who's lying?
Right.
One of them's lying.
Yeah. Yeah. And you know what? That's what happened last season on the Valley with the whole the comment about Michelle and who said it. And was it Zach or was it Michelle or was it like, come
Kristen.
on. Kristen, right.
Yeah.
Like it's just, I don't know. I'm not a fan of Jasmine. I'm really not. I'm not a fan of Janet. Janet was on Watch What Happens Live with Jason. I do like Jason, but
I do too.
I mean, even Janet in every single poll, she got annihilated.
I
She
know.
got
And
annihilated.
the one, what was it? The biggest pot stirrer?
Yeah.
And she got that. And Jason's like, wow, you ran away with it. And she was like, I know. And Andy's like, that's not a good thing.
I know.
And doesn't the fact that Janet and Jasmine both have like saying, like Janet said, well, she said he's an alcoholic. And then Jasmine's like, I don't think he's a full blown alcoholic. lead you to believe that they had a conversation prior to the season 2 filming where they were like,
Yeah,
maybe we
because
can go with this?
yes, because the fact that, first of all, they had the conversation about the inappropriate touching, right? They had that conversation because that happened
Yeah.
a
Off
while back,
camera.
off
Yeah.
camera. It happened a while back and it was addressed. And they said that they were not going to bring it up on camera. It was specifically said because Danny apologized. And they
I didn't
said
know
that,
that part.
yeah, yes, Danny and Nia had said that. He had addressed it. Nia was aware of it. Danny was aware of it. Guys, they said it wasn't going to be brought up on camera.
I'm sorry, if one of my friends' husbands sat me down, like grabbed my thigh and said, "Go get daddy a drink," I think I would laugh hysterically.
And go get him a drink.
Yeah. But I will say this, and I'm not a big Jasmine fan. I will say this, and I do think that there's something behind it. When she said, I'm in a lesbian relationship, and sometimes men don't take that serious. Had I been married to one of his male friends, he probably wouldn't have done that. And I do think that there's a bit of truth to that. I do think that her being in a relationship with a woman may have made him feel more comfortable doing that to her than had it been Janet or Brittany, one of his friends' wives, male friends'
I
wives.
agree. I agree with that.
Yeah.
I agree with that. That is a valid point. But
Yeah.
you said you weren't going to bring it up, and that's all you keep bringing up.
Yeah.
I
I
mean,
didn't know that she said that.
Yeah, it's episode 6. And like you said, we've heard it. I think we've heard it every single episode.
And it's the same story over and over again.
It's
Like
the
you got
same-
nothing else.
It's the same story.
And he pinched her girlfriend's ass or something
Right.
like that. Which again, I don't think he would have done had it been a friend who was married to a guy. I don't think he'd be pinching someone's ass who was married to his friend who was a guy.
I agree. I totally agree.
Yeah.
I totally agree.
But that's all they got.
But I do know, I'm thinking about it, like last season when Lala was on and Jesse was there was an incident with Jesse touching Lala inappropriately. Do you remember that?
I
There
do
was-
vaguely remember that.
There was some party and there was some tattooing going on, and it's like she was waiting in line or something to get like a tattoo, and he
and
was
that
there.
was Jesse that did it?
That was Jesse. That was
Do believe
Jesse.
it.
Yeah. And because Lala has made, a lot of comments about, Jesse and Jax, like who is worse? And she says Jesse's worse 100%. Because
I think that's just
he's
because she
intentional.
knows.
He's intentional. He's intentional with his malintent. He says
I think Jesse is very smart. I think she's right. I think he's I think he's much smarter than Jax. I think they're both narcissists. But yeah, that's a good way to put it. It's
Yeah.
intentional.
Yeah,
I think Jax I don't think he's very smart at all,
No, he's not.
obviously.
he's
and
not.
he's just a selfish prick.
Mm-hmm.
Also a narcissist. But Jesse's calculated. Can you believe the people who stick up for him
No.
and don't like Michelle?
No.
I mean, you don't have to like Michelle, but Teddy drives me crazy with the Jesse thing. Teddy Mellencamp.
Especially, what was that podcast you told me to listen to with Michelle? Was it the Vile Files? Yes.
My God, that's such a good interview.
Yes.
I mean, she really puts it out there.
Yeah. I mean, I was Team Michelle on this before I heard that, but then after I heard that, the things that he has done,
Yes.
I mean, you guys should listen to the Vile Files. Listen to that episode.
And you know the other difference between Jax and Jesse? Jax will show his nasty side on TV.
Mm-hmm.
He has. Jesse won't.
Yeah.
The nastiest thing I think he's done when he said to Janet, "You don't have the capacity to play this game with me," or whatever
Yeah.
he said to her. That was like, you saw it right there. Like, he's a crazy motherfucker, this guy.
Well, the things that he said to Michelle, his wife.
Absolutely.
Disgusting.
Yep.
I mean, he admitted that on the after show or on Watch What Happens Live that he regrets it and he's going to have to explain it to his daughter one day, but still, it doesn't negate it. It doesn't. It just doesn't.
He might not have to explain anything to his daughter one day, because if he continues to act the way he does with the mother, at some point, this girl's going to get hip to it. We all have kids who are now adults, young adults.
Yes.
They flip on you real quick. So
they
if
know.
you think you're going to play this game with your daughter, you're not. Because she's going to get hip to it real quick. And at some point, she might be like, you know what? You were the problem, and I'm going to go live with mom full time.
Yeah, and actually, he's even said that Isabella's very smart, and even that whole scene with the what was the toy that she wanted that she looked all over for, and it was in the refrigerator, and then she came and dropped it off.
What was it, a bear?
Whatever it was, I don't
I
remember what it was,
forget.
but it was something. It was something that was important to Isabella. And she looked all over the house for it and she found it. It was in the refrigerator. And she
Yeah.
brought it over to her daughter, and her daughter was so happy. And then he asked about something else, and she's like, yeah, I didn't have time to grab it.
Yeah, like,
But
fuck you.
this little girl is smart and she sees what happens. And you could see that she definitely is going to figure it out. She's going to figure it out.
Definitely. He's probably not even going to have a chance to explain anything because
Yeah.
he's going to be his own demise. He's going to
Yeah.
implode with her too, unless he changes his ways.
Yeah. I also really liked that Kristen was totally on Nia's side.
Me too.
I mean, when Nia told the story about, how she grew up and her, she was homeless and she was living in her car. Listen, she didn't have to tell that story. She just was trying to give you some perspective that she's not this perfect person, but she's grateful for everything that she has. And this is how she lives her life now. And the fact that Janet then turns it into, well, I understand because I was, in a relationship with someone who was an alcoholic and an
And a
addict.
drug addict.
And a drug addict. And I was in it and I was like, what?
And thank God Nia said, like, that's a bold statement
That
right
is a
there.
bold statement.
When they said, who said it on the after show? Like, basically, they were making, and Michelle kind of co-signed it. Janet was making it as if Nia went into that dinner knowing she was going to tell that story.
She said that on the after show. They asked her
Yeah,
that.
and Michelle kind of co-signed it. And who else were they sitting with? Sheena.
Yeah,
It's
Sheena
like,
was.
what is wrong with you?
But Sheena didn't say any. Well, she would. Yeah, she would like nod her head. I felt
Yeah,
like she
Michelle
was.
definitely co-signed it. Like,
Yeah.
I didn't like that at all.
No, I
And
didn't.
then did you see how Jasmine was apologetic to Nia to her face at that dinner? And then when she left, Jasmine did a total 180 and started talking
Yes.
shit again.
Yes.
Like, what are you doing?
I mean, I like that Zach is doing the after show with Jasmine because he keeps calling her out.
He does, which is very good.
Yeah.
Very good.
But I don't know. I don't like Jasmine. I don't like that she's trying to take Nia down. I think that there's no reason for that.
Like, what's the end game? What do you want her to put her husband in treatment like Jax? Like,
Right.
what's the end game here? To humiliate them? These are your friends.
Right. I mean, Brittany even admitted that she felt, because the whole thing kind of got started with Brittany. She admitted that, she shouldn't have said that. I mean, she was in the midst of a crisis herself with her crazy husband and the rage texting. And, she overreacted. And she admitted that she was wrong. Nobody else admitted that they were wrong.
No.
Nobody else
No.
did. I don't know. I just don't like the way that they're coming after Danny and Nia's relationship.
Me neither.
Especially,
And now next week, something's going to come out about Jason, right? That he doesn't wear his wedding ring
right, when he goes
when he
out.
goes out.
And Kristen's going to bring that up.
Great.
I know. I don't know
Listen,
how
I love Kristen this season, but,
Yeah.
she just gets a bad rap.
Yeah, she does. She does. I'm surprised about that he doesn't wear his wedding ring.
I'm very surprised.
Because I see him as like, the straight shooter guy. Like I see him
Yeah.
as the voice of reason, the mature adult in the room. That's how I see
Right.
him. Actually,
Right.
out of all the guys, I see him as the mature adult in the room, right?
Yeah, like I find him very likable. Not her, but like even on Watch What Happens Live, some people were so funny though. They're like, they are the most boring couple. And listen, I like, what's a good example? Like Nia and Danny. Like to me, like
Right.
they're not boring. They're just
No.
regular people. They seem to have a very nice relationship, no drama, but I like watching them. Like when Richie and Kathy Wakili were on New Jersey. Low key, flew under the radar, seemed like a nice couple. I like that. You need that.
Right.
We can't have all crazy shit going on.
Right. Everything doesn't have to be volatile.
Janet and Jason, like they really are just dull. And maybe it's because she's so unlikable that I feel that.
It could be.
Yeah.
It could be.
Yeah. I mean, who are the Janet fans out there? Why are we not calling her for her to get off this show like we did circa, 1998 with Shannon Doherty? Like, get Brenda off the show. Not 98, way before that. 1991. With our Teen Beat magazine.
Beat.
Tiger Beat.
I don't know. What else was going on that episode?
I don't know. I'm trying to look here.
We didn't see anything with Jax, though, right?
No, which was a nice change.
It was a nice change.
Sheena made a cameo. Oh, yeah. Sheena and Michelle went on a hike.
That's right. But we haven't actually seen Lala on the show. We've only seen her on the after show, which I think is interesting.
Yeah, I don't think Lala's been on yet. And we haven't seen Tom Schwartz yet. And he's supposed to be on, right?
Oh, yeah. And we see him all over the after show. Like, he's on the after show, too. Him and Lala and Sheena are on the after show all the time, right?
I'll take Tom Schwartz in any show. Tom Schwartz could pop up anywhere. Real Housewives of Atlanta. Just throw him in there.
It's weird, too, that he's on the after show because, like, he hasn't. Well, I guess the same with Lala. Like, we haven't seen her
we
either.
haven't seen him yet, but hopefully we do.
Yeah.
Jesse did meet with his life coach following a heated argument with Michelle, but I feel like that life coach just falls in line with what Jesse wants.
Yeah, the life coach was their marriage counselor at one point.
Yeah, same guy, right?
Right?
Yeah.
And now he's the life coach. And is he the one who got him to do the ayahuasca?
I think that guy was bald. Was this guy bald? I remember that guy being bald because I actually thought he was very handsome.
I don't remember, to be honest with you. I mean, I think it was. I don't remember, though. I really
think
don't.
It was. Eric's yelling at me from the basement. We have to go.
All right. Well, we got to recap 2 episodes. That's good.
I know.
That's good. Go enjoy your game. It is Memorial Day weekend down the Jersey Shore.
Yep. And Brick Memorial boys baseball is in the southern. Wait, what is it? Oh my God, I can't even think of what it is.
It's something. They're in a final, right?
They're in a championship game.
Okay.
Shore Conference. Dear God.
There you
and
go.
they're playing RBC, Red Bank Catholic. We have no children playing in this game, but we know every single player on the team, and we're going to be rooting hard for them.
There you go.
And there's some pre-gaming involved, people. So we're trying to get there early. All right. Well, have fun. And thank you for watching and listening to We Wine Whenever. Bye. Bye.